much at all. So I think I'm personally going to be done for this afternoon. I don't see anything that's really appealing. Currently, I have 4 trades on the day, 1 for 4. Believe it or not, really bad odds. However, with implementing proper risk management, you can still come out on top. Now, I know, 4 trades, 1 green, 3 red, but I'm only down 123 bucks, right? I'm only down 123 bucks. I took 2 red trades on MRNA. I took a bad trade on ATHE, and then my green trade was actually on NIO, which basically broke me even on MRNA and still puts me in the hole about $123 on the day. So not a bad red day, definitely manageable, and definitely a few good setups. MRNA this morning had a few great setups in pre-market, just couldn't hold on up. NIO was fantastic. We actually traded that live this morning on the short. Just banged off 44.55. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Never had a pullback after the big move up. And right there, in my opinion, I was like, all right, 80% odds, right? A lot of resistance. Definitely looking archy. Kind of looks like a rainbow, right? We haven't really gotten that big pullback yet. We're overextended. We're starting to look a little top heavy. Momentum's starting to slowly curl and die on down. And the stop was nice and tight right over those highs. So again, great reward compared to risk. Great little setup for the short over on NIO. Again, I got in around 44.22, I believe, 44.30, somewhere around there. Stops were right above those highs. And as soon as I saw that I was in the green, I started taking profit, bringing my stops to break even. I was able to lock in $274.50. I sold way too early. I think I finally took my last position right there around 43.50. I could have gotten probably another $1 out of it or so. So I probably left a couple $100 on the table, but green is green. Anything could have happened. That could have easily shot up quick right then and there and stopped me out. So the best thing, the smart thing to do at that point in time was to lock in money when I had it. That was my green trade over on NIO. Before we really dive into it, I do want to do one last quick little scan just so you guys are completely up to date on what's going on. So again, we know WWR, a break, a pullback, and a hold over $5 is what we want to see. I'm going to go ahead and throw that off to the side just so we don't miss any opportunity on that if it does start moving on up. We're watching high of $4.99. I'm over here watching, man. I'm not going to let you guys down. I got it up. She's right there. So if that breaks and we start seeing that pullback, we will be ready to go. Yep, and then ATHE, pre-market trade. I called that out live, tied that up in chat, took it for the break of the downtrend, 5,000 shares. Never did anything, never got any volume. I actually cut it for a 2 or 3 cent loss, which was that 150. And then we saw it push. And then it actually held and got a nice little push. But we wanted to see the push there. The second we broke the downtrend and we retested, we wanted to see that kind of price action, right? It took an extra 20 minutes, right? And I'm not going to sit here with 5,000 shares in pre-market when the stock can move 10, 20, 30 cents in the matter of seconds and sit there and take a $1,500 loss, $500 loss. Wasn't worth it at all. So I cut it, did the right thing, booked a small loss. It was a good setup. It was a good trade. Never got the volume behind it until 30 minutes later. So again, doing the right thing, taking the small loss when I had the opportunity. In hindsight, yeah, definitely should have held it for another 20 minutes, but it's all good. At that point in time, I definitely did the right thing. Yep, WWR trying to break over $5. Let's see if that one can actually hold a nice green candle over 5. Get us a nice little pullback. Go ahead and throw WWR up on the live stream. Got 507 highs, 508. Go ahead and go WWR.
I really like this as a...
I do too.
They can hold these levels.
If we can hold $5 throughout the day, especially over lunch, we are coming into the slowest time of the day. So if we can literally just hold 5 and consolidate, maybe get some action here, end of day, post market, most definitely. I do think we could see some nice movement on this. So the one time you could have traded a breakout and actually made some money on it without getting completely dumped on. But you know me, I like to wait for those pullbacks. So again, I could miss it completely, right? This stock could not pull back. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, you could have had like $5 is what? It's the most it's the round number with the most resistance.
It is the second strongest resistance line for penny stocks.
Yeah. So dollar and then $5.
And then $10. Yep.
So you could have had your order set at 501. Could have scalped it for what, 10 cents maybe.
Exactly. Yep. I mean, you could have had, like a buy limit order in the system, like a buy stop market. I'm sorry, a buy stop market at 501. So as soon as 501 was triggered, your limit or your market order would have been submitted and you would have been filled. So you could have maybe got filled at 504, 503. Yeah, that's fine. But I've been in the market so long, and I'm sure you can, comment on this too, is we've seen so many times to where it'll go like 504, 505, and then boom, dump, down the 480. And that's one of those things that I've seen that happen so many times, and I've been involved in those setups so many times as a new trader that I can't even force myself to pull the trigger on a breakout. I just can't do it.
No. Man, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. Now, again, if you're the type that you like to set those buy stop markets right over the breakout and get the fill, scalp it 5-10 cents, there is nothing wrong with that as long as you back test it and you paper trade it and you statistically see that it works, more times than it doesn't work, then that's your edge, right? You can apply that to your book of trading and, trade it. But for me, I really like to be a little bit extra patient, wait for those beautiful, beautiful setups, decreasing volume pullbacks, then get those nice legs up. I really want the stock to prove itself to me before I give it my money. So right now, I'd like to see, a couple more down. Or we could hold the gains. It could be strong enough where it's going to hold on up here. Give us some, a little consolidation and then possibly break on out. That's fine.
Got room all the way to 570.
Yeah, 571 is what I had marked up. And again, as a newer trader, I would usually be the type that's like, okay, well, it looks strong. It's consolidating. What about a little flag? Let me go ahead and buy here at 512. Right? So I'm not going to buy here at 512, but that's what I used to do as a new trader, just to watch it come down and not respect 5 and stop me out at 480. So just like that, that's why we sit back, be patient, wait. Let's see if we can hold that $5 line up and maybe get a quick little 10-20 cents out of it. Stops would be very nice and tight. I'd put stops right around 493. You got 503 on the bid.
Just trying to flag a bit.
Yeah, definitely meeting the criteria. Not the best looking flag, but from a criteria standpoint, yeah, it's definitely trying to consolidate, decreasing volume after the leg up. So one of those things, right? Trade at your own risk. Understand how many shares you're getting, where your stop should be, what your risk is, what's your target. Right now, you'd have to be taking profit near the highs of 523. Where should your stops be? Give it enough breathing room. I'd be putting stops probably at like 492, 493, just in case we dip below $5 momentarily. You don't want to have them at 499, 498 just to get stopped out. 492 to 493 would be a much better area to have a stop. In first target, high a day. Anything over that, simply scale it. Your next area of resistance would be 550 just because it's natural resistance. So I'm still waiting to see how we look down towards round 5. In a perfect world, I'd like to see the fake out loss of support, get a fill just to watch it resume, and then see those buyers move in. I can't tell you how many times we see the fake out crack. Like it's going to dump, buyers come in, push it up, a lot of momentum behind it, and then we start to see it really ramp on up. So I may go with a small starter here. I'd like to get probably 2,000 to 3,000 shares total, but I would like to start taking a small entry on it So we're looking at 625 just to get a little starter going. I don't want 5,000 shares here, just in case it does come down to the 490s. I'd rather have a little bit smaller. No, I'm not doing 5,000 shares, like 2,000. I don't know where I got 5,000 from. WWR actually just came up on our daily consolidation breakout scanner. So typically we see some momentum out of those stocks that hit that scanner. It's rare that we have anything actually hit it. So yeah, WWR right now not looking all the greatest. That's why I take a small teeny weeny position. Still give it a go. But never held that $5. Looking a little bit weak right now. So, hey, we tried to give it a go. I tried giving it a go there. And then last thing that I have, obviously, hey, that's perfect. We're actually recording for a live trade recap. So we saw that live on how I lost $81.25. Last but not least, we did have MRNA this morning in pre-market. And actually, MRNA, I forgot, I did 2 trades. And I was 1 for 1 on MRNA. The first one was the loser. The first one was the pullback and the retest off the previous high after we broke out and hit those highs. It came down pretty heavy and stopped me out. And then I actually took a winning trade right here off the break of the downtrend. I got a little bit out of it before it came back down, which still put me down $250 on the day. But at one point, I think I was down about $500 on that first trade on MRNA. I was able to lock in another $250 on the second trade to get me a little bit out of the hole. Again, good setup here. Strong stock, good news. Broke out, pulled back, got the leg, never took profit at the high. That was my mistake. Came down, stopped me out, right? That's why we always take profit near the previous high and bring those stops to break even. I failed to do that. I got stopped out. Losing trade. Second trade, easy stuff. Stock selling off, pulling back in a nice downtrend. Draw your downtrend across the highs. Wait for the stock to bottom out near past support or at double bottoms. Breaks the downtrend. We had just that. Stock pulled back all the way down towards $100. Broke the downtrend. I took the long. I sold it up into VWAP. Was able to get about a point and a half out of it total. The reason why it wasn't a super big win is because I actually scaled back quite a bit on my size. I was a little heavy on size here on the first trade. I scaled it back quite a bit here. It was still green, but not green enough to get me out of the hole. So I took about a $247 loss. So on the day, I'm only down $200. It is lunchtime, so I'm officially not going to be touching anything. Coming back around 2:15 to 2:30 for power hour. See if we have anything moving on up. And most definitely for post-market, because like I said last week, at least 3 of the 5 days, we had massive supernova runners in post-market. So I'm really excited to see what we have in store today after 4 o'clock. Maybe that's where the opportunity is. Maybe that's where we can make some money. Other than that, we can now take this time. It is 11:45 to give you guys the opportunity to jump on the mic, share your screen, anything that you want to recap. You guys can get that critiquement as well, as far as, did you take a good trade? Did you take a bad trade? Do you want it reviewed? Now's the time to do so, and we will do that until about 12:30. Every day between the hours of 12:30 and 2:30, that is lunch. So we will be out of here taking lunch, enjoying our afternoon, and we will come back for our power hour commentary session.